Right. So we got the rundown on your Disneyland Paris adventure, and really the trip as a whole. Uh, we had DLC Dortmund happen while you were away, and you come back, and we have DLC Indy, which Rebecca was present for. So, Rebecca, give us your kind of immediate takeaways. What stands out to you about DLC Indy?
From what perspective? And
Yes.
any perspective?
It's really just more what stands out to you, like
Yeah.
as you come away from it. What are
Yeah.
your impressions?
I mean, I thought it was a really great event. It was, I think, the community that showed up to Indy was so ready for that event and to come and have a good time and be together as a community. You know, the last DLC that happened in North America was back in January. So it had been a full 6 months since the prior DLC. And so I think because of that, it just had like a, a little bit of like a family reunion kind of feel, walking around, seeing people there with their communities and um, families and everything. I probably talked to more people, it seemed to me at least, so anecdotally, I talked to more people at DLC Indy who said this was their first event also that they had been to, their first like DLC. And I thought that was really cool that there were so many people there. So whether it's just happened to be that I talked to more people who that was the case, but there weren't more, it just seemed to me like there were a lot of people who, and they were all having, of course, the time of their lives. And um, and the cosplays this time around was like next level. It was really cool seeing all of the different cosplays that people did. And then from the tournament, perspective, it was, I think, kind of what we all expected to see. A lot of dogs.
A lot of dogs.
A lot of dogs, but it was nice to see, um, the champion taking it down with the Ruby Sapphire deck. That was really fun. Of course, if Alphas had won, even though he was playing dogs, I would have been so happy for him. He is a fantastic player and is like collecting all the invites on every continent. And also, he is just genuinely, every interaction that I've had with Alphas, he's such a nice guy and like just such a wonderful representative of the game in the community, of just a very kind, generous person. And so even if he had won, I would have been very excited for him. But I think everyone was a little happy to see the dogs taken down.
Yeah, with the dogs faltering in the finals, what basically, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think dogs ever topped a tournament during Infinity. Right, like they were top 8, but I don't think there was a winner.
I don't. Now I'm trying to think off the top of my head if there might have been one that had dogs that, because there was, or maybe it wasn't an Infinity event though that I'm thinking of. You might be right, Scott.
Yeah, there was the one that happened very shortly after, but that wasn't Infinity. That was
right.
heavy core. Yeah, I think we've come away for all the bluster that dogs had, and it was a formidable deck. Make no mistake.
Mm-hmm.
But once we got to that top cut, and especially top 8, everybody seemed to have a good chance. I mean, all those players are so good. They know their deck well. They know their lines well. They have to know how to play against dogs, and they did so effectively.
Yeah.
It was Brian Pereira taking home the trophy, grand champion of the DLC, with a heavy action deck. Only had 6 items, which is a little unusual. Harvey Alphas, of course, on his Royal Dogs build. Quick shout out to Tyler and Neil from our Tucson area making day 2. Very happy for them. Proud of the work they put in and got some results there. From a viewer's perspective, I make no bones about it. My favorite moment was Shaner's Edict, Shane Downey. He cracked into the top 8, and when he won his top 16 match, it was on Father's Day. He was very emotional. I mean, this dude was doing everything he could to just not melt into a puddle of tears live on stream. And he was able to utter the words, "Dad, thank you for all the support."
Yeah.
And it was just a very touching moment. And he went on to elaborate about how his father had just been supportive of his activities and tournaments and card games and whatnot throughout the years. Not everybody has that. And so
Yeah.
it was wonderful to hear, not just that he had it, but he acknowledged it. That was easily my favorite moment from the weekend.
Yeah, he made a really nice post on Twitter too about how surprised he was to get such positive feedback in the community about the interview, and something about, you know, how it's hard to be vulnerable, you know,
Sure.
was kind of packed into that post. And it's like, yeah, I think especially, I don't know, we just live in a culture where, you know, showing emotion, especially I think as a man, it is, you know, not common for men to show that kind of vulnerability in such a public way. And I responded to him on his post. I'm like, you know, I'm so glad that he did, because it shows other people that it's okay, right? You can show like your real emotions, and what a special moment for him and for his dad to like see and hear that too, and that those moments are just so special.
So where do we want to go from here? We had a bit of indie recap. There's a ton of other stuff that happened. What comes to mind from this dense 3-week period since the last time we cracked the mic?
Potatoes.
Man, potatoes. Yeah. Okay. So I have a question for the two of you, and I feel like maybe we've talked about this before on the show, and you can let me know. But we kind of alluded to it earlier, and with Liam and Aaron. But reveal season to me is so. Even as a content creator and somebody who wants to keep up with all the reveals as much as possible, it's like drinking from a fire hose. And
Yes,
absolutely.
they made a switch maybe like a year ago or so, from it being like a 4-week period of reveals where it was kind of like this slow drip over a few weeks or so, to just all being condensed down into like 9 days of reveals. And it feels so overwhelming to me that I can't keep up.
it's a great question, and it's a situation where you're darned if you do and you're darned if you don't. I know other games have struggled with this balance as well. When you had the former model, where it's dripped out over a longer season, people will complain that it seems like we're always in reveal season. We can never take a break. And then the company switches to the mode that we're in now, where they have a Ferrari's engine worth of reveals coming at you, just, 16,000 RPMs or whatever, 9 days and it's done. And like you said, it's like you're trying to sip from a fire hose, and all it does is leave you drenched and painful.
Yeah.
It's not like you can actually get satisfied from it. At least that's another portion of the crowd. I don't know that there's a right answer. I think they just make a decision and go, because I don't think they can win no matter what they do.
Yeah.
I empathize with what you're saying. That's for sure.
I know there's like you said, there's no right answer. Like, yeah, you don't want it to be too long, but you don't want it to be too short. I think the one thing that I'll say for me personally that I appreciated about it being longer, and maybe it didn't need to be as long as it used to be, I don't even know what the time period was, but I felt like I was able to like better wrap my mind around all the new cards and learn them as they were being revealed. And so I felt more prepared, like, to play with the new cards, because I had seen them, and I was able to spend more time on each one and go, oh, okay, that's one that I would like to put in my deck, or I would like to make a deck around that. And now it's like I have given up a little bit.
I will say that the addition of the card gallery,
yeah,
queuing up the cards to be revealed the moment a reveal happens, or by the next day or whatever, is fantastic.
Yep.
Right.
I do love that.
I will say it makes it a lot easier to just sit with Lily on an iPad and scroll through, and she can go through that, versus like again, I love our local community. We have a Discord, and the local community just steps up and posts reveals and as they come through, and that's kind of like the trickle that I get. So it is a fire hose. I think I get to experience it like a bit of a trickle in that way, but that's also kind of hard to navigate with Lily, right? So it's really nice to be able to sit down and go like, let's look at all the new ones that came out, and here's also the other ones that so there's like the reinforcement loop by kind of going through the gallery. So but I agree. I think from a kind of more business perspective, like from a marketing standpoint, I think a drip, kind of approach, it doesn't work with the current cadence, right, of sets.
Yeah.
And I think especially maybe it feels like it's even more okay with this one, just given rotation. But I feel like I personally feel like this is as good as you can get from a pacing standpoint, right?
Yeah.
There's no perfect answer, but I think this is the better approach right now.
What's a card or what's a reveal that kind of sticks out in your mind from the past week?
Besides potato?
Besides potato. Yeah.
I mean, I think just because we saw it today, for me, the what was it? The Source of the Vine item?
Yes, Source of the Vine. Yep.
That's such a cool card. So that's the one where anytime an opposing character quests, you gain 1 lore unless your opponent pays 1 ink. And I just think that's such a cool thing that we haven't seen in the game before, that I'm excited to see. I mean, it's kind of it's a 4-cost uninkable item, so a little expensive, and it is uninkable, but that's the one that stands out to me. It seems real fun.
There's a bunch of Lorcana players out there that, whether they realize it or not, they're going to, especially if they play multiplayer, they're going to start getting real familiar with the question, do you pay the 1?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say, go ahead, Scott. No, I was going to just say,
okay. Daniel, go Daniel.
I'll go fast. Yeah. The card reveal that I don't know, it just, I think it really hit on the nostalgia, and she did an amazing job, was the Inky Hour. Did the reveal
yeah.
of the Buzz card. Buzz Lightyear grounded, right? This character can't gain evasive. That one just, and that one was really good. That one really sticks out to me. So I felt it, right? I felt Buzz.
Yeah. It was, I don't know if you've seen that one, Scott, but she, in it's in Toy Story 2, where you have the toy like fixer-upper guy that the Chicken Man brings in to repaint Woody's shoe and fixes things, and like the airbrushing and cleans them all up. So Inky, creator on Instagram, she was like that character and like did this whole thing with the camera angles and everything for her reveal. And it was, it like really bringing that moment back from the film. That was really, really fun.
Very nice. That sounds highly thematic.
Yes. What about you, Scott?
The one that really sticks out for me, I don't know how it was revealed. I think it was on a Lorecast or a stream. I don't know. It just came. I saw it on X. It was the Winnie the Pooh and Piglet Honey Mages enchantment reveal, and I saw that, and I was like, oh, there's a lot of people gonna be poor.
Yeah.
Zach Bivens tweeted out something to the effect of, I will go into debt for this card. And I'm like, boy, Rocket Mortgage has you on speed dial, man. Because I think he had the play set of Buzz Iconics.
The Buzz Iconics. Yeah. Man, that one, though, is going to be, I mean, we could get into market talk and stuff, too. But that one is going to be very highly sought after for sure.
Yeah. If the Honey Wizard Enchanted is any indication, and I believe that it is, plus fan response, that card goes bonkers, man. Speaking of bonkers, prices in general.
Yeah.
TCG player, most cases are $930 or more shipped. Booster boxes, $230 or more shipped. These are prices that we haven't seen since set 2.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Do you know what else I think is going to be bonkers? and is sort of a card reveal that we had recently, but not really, is that new heroine collector set that they announced.
Yes.
I know that lots of people have probably experienced this before in Lorcana, and just for whatever reason, I hadn't until now. But when I saw that reveal, I was actually in the airport on a layover coming back from Indianapolis, and I saw it on my computer, and it's the first time that I like kind of actually started crying from a reveal of a card, because there's an Ariel in there, and she's so beautiful, and I do love the art style. I'm like, it made me so emotional seeing it. So but yeah, the market, I think that collector's box is going to be very hot item to get your hands on.
There's myself and a few friends are going to pack our car and drive out to Disney and roll the dice and see if we can get in early enough for the it is the collectors what is it, curators collection.
Yes, I couldn't remember. Yeah, the curators collection.
Yep.
Which and also is fun, because that means this is curators collection heroine edition. That means there's going to be more editions coming in the future.
Yep, that is a blessing and a curse. It's the gift that keeps on giving. We'll go out for the first one. I don't know about latter ones. This is a big risk for us. Foil play mats as well will be released, all on the release or pre-release date of July 17th for Attack of the Vine. Have y'all pre-registered for your pre-release events? Got that all taken care of?
Absolutely.
I have not yet, but I was at my local game store last night, and they just let us know, which I'm really actually very excited about, is they said that they should have enough pre-release boxes where they're going to host 2 pre-release events.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so they're going to host one on Friday night on release day, and then they're going to host another one on the following Tuesday night, which is like our normal weekly play night at the store. And so I'm very excited about that, but I do need to go in the hub and register for them.
Do we know, I guess, do we know 2 things? Do we know if the stores are going to get the prize packs for their pre-release kits again? And do we know the full contents or any contents of the organized play kit?
I don't think I've seen anything yet.
No.
Like I thought we saw a couple of gold cards that might have been like the buy a box promo.
They did. Okay, so we did see the buy a box promo, and they did show the weekly play promos.
Right.
Like I want to say one of them is, no, I'm not even going to say because I can't remember off the top of my head. But that's it. So we haven't seen any of the other stuff that might be in the kit, which usually there's, like they're doing the stickers now and other things. But we haven't seen that.
That's what I'm curious about, because this will be the first time there have been no pins whatsoever.
You're right, because this current set for Wilds Unknown was the steel pin, which they said they weren't doing character pins anymore for now, and then they were going to continue to do the ink pins until they completed the set. So that might be the end of pins for the time being.
Yeah. So my question is, what, if anything, is replacing them? That I'm curious to see how, because I think that's an important bit. Like, right, if you want people to keep coming to weekly play, there has to be a reason, and the people are a great reason. But if there's not a built-in community, if a store hasn't built that up, if the community itself hasn't rallied around each other, what's the draw?
Yeah.
So that'll be a question that remains to be answered. We'll see what they do with that in the coming weeks.
Which, I mean, we are headed into quote unquote announcement. Season is coming soon. They had that special Lorecast, or there was something recently. Oh no, it was on the Lorecast, just the regular Lorecast last week. Cooper was on. And he was shared about the CCQs for the next season, which was some really exciting news, expanding those out. There's going to be a lot more. And then he said on that there was going to be more announcements being made at D23. So that is going to be coming up in mid-August, the end of August, mid-August. We will have, and D23, of course, is where, lots of Disney big announcements will be made. So I'm very much looking forward to whatever announcements the Ravensburger team has for the community there. Looking forward to what's to come.
We're going to see Josh on the stage again?
Oh, I'm sure. He's Mr. CEO now, so he'll for sure be up there. Probably not at the Disney Lorcana panel, but you never know.
We can hope.
Never know.
You never know. Well, someday Daniel's going to sit down. Daniel's going to sit down and teach Josh tomorrow how to play Disney Lorcana. That's going to happen.
One day.
Yes. Step one is he has a pack rush with Josh tomorrow. Step two, Daniel becomes a C-suite executive for Disney.
There we go.
Again, one day.
There you go.
One day. A dream is a wish your heart makes.
I think
I love
that
it.
I think that touches on most stuff that we had. It really was a packed 3 weeks. Was there anything else, any other directions we wanted to go?
One small one is, Rebecca, you did a great kind of, I think, a recap commentary on the collection quest.
The GameStop.
And EB Games. I don't have to talk too much about it, but I do know that one of our local stores just announced or shared that they will also be getting some support for hosting Collection Quest sometime in August, I think, right after D23. And it will be, I believe, it will be a different promo, right? It will not be the Minnie Mouse promo, but it'll be one from, I think, Attack of the Vine. So that's Attack of the Vine. So that one's, I think, again, if we want to go into it, if we have the time, is just, who is that for, right? We're starting to see more types of events, and I think maybe that's just a topic, for another day, unless you two can keep going. But
yeah, we can hit on it.
I think, it's like, who is the Collection Quest for, right? When it's being hosted at your local game store.
Yeah, I definitely think, especially like the other, well, it's interesting because they do also do Collection Quest at DLCs, right? And that's people who are, for the most part, already entrenched in the Disney Lorcana community. But like when they were doing it at Gen Con, I know, and they did it at Disneyland at DCA, and they did it at Walt Disney World. They've been doing it on the Disney Cruise Line ships, and that it does seem like, generally speaking, it is geared more towards people who aren't already bought into Disney Lorcana as an introduction to the game, to the cards, as a fun activity to do with other people. And I don't know if the GameStop EB Games event attracted those people, but in my mind, that's kind of who that event is for. And I don't know. I don't know that the GameStop was necessarily the right location for that. Or at least I will say the one that I went to, there was like no signage about it. Like if you just walked into that store, you wouldn't have any idea that was going on, So I don't know if that's like from a store to store basis. But I would hope that you would want it to be more like, hey, there's this thing, and like a parent walks in with their kid who wants to buy some Pokemon, and they're like, oh, there's a Disney thing happening, we should do that, kind of thing. But
at game stores, at GameStops, I think the event is just a general miss. The individual stores aren't invested in the success of the events at their stores. And it's questionable how much the employees at any given store actually know about the event or how to facilitate it. I think their motivation is let's move product. I don't think they could care one bit about whether or not they continue buying product unless it's from GameStop. They are not invested in building a community. There is not. I would wager most of them didn't even set up pop-up tables for people to gather around. It's just an awkward venue for an event like that that requires at least some surface area that the participants can gather around. There is also, they're not entrenched with the community, so if they wanted to reach out to a community member and help facilitate that, they really didn't have a great way to do so. And that's where I think the game store avenue comes in. Game stores can partner with one of
with
their
their community.
yeah, and help run that. Even if folks such as ourselves, if we already have the cards, if we don't need the promo, that's fine. We can still be there to show enthusiasm for the game, to help facilitate the event, to take the burden off of the store itself, and show the participants that it's not just you, that other community members are here and excited to have you, and we want to welcome you in. I think that's kind of what's necessary to make it successful. Daniel, to answer your question, who is it for? I think it is for novices, people who aren't familiar with the game. I think it's best as a recruiting tool for new community members. I think it's up to us as entrenched community members, as part of the establishment and on the game stores, to reach out to folks that we know and say, hey, come check this out, in order to really make it. Because if we're not communicating the event, stores pulled 20 different directions. So I think it really needs to be a partnership to make it successful, and it can be successful. We just have to be in alignment with the stores that are running it.
Also, I know you both have done collection quests before, right? So you need to have
enough people.
Other people.
Yes.
You have to have other people to
Takes
have
a
enough
critical mass.
cards in circulation to be able to have anyone finish their quest. And so, like, I luckily just happened to walk into the store when there were already 4 or 5 other people that were there doing it. But I walked in by myself, and if there wasn't anyone there, then I would have been out of luck, on completing my quest, and been like, okay, I'll buy me 3 packs for $10 each and be on my way.
Do we know if the packs for this event, like if they're going to have boxes available specifically for it, or is this going to have to come out of the store's general supply that they've purchased through distribution?
I don't know, but I will say at the store I went to that they were pulling packs and the quest cards out of a box on the counter, behind the cash register, not like packs off of their display.
Okay.
So
yeah, I've seen all of it from the community, right? I've seen community members post about, hanger packs, right? I've seen a mix. I've also heard of at least one store where there were so many people who did show up that they didn't have enough packs to go around.
oh wow.
Nice.
Wow.
Where was that?
The promos. I don't remember, but it was. I think it was a post on X. Someone mentioned that. Maybe it was.
That's
Reddit,
cool.
But, yeah. So again, hit or miss, right? Maybe average miss. But Scott, I want to go back to what you said, because I think this is where, when I think about our show and both being a voice for the community, I really think this is a call to action.
Yeah.
And here's how I would frame it. We're all feeling the pressure of the demand for sealed product increasing. If you're a engaged member of the Disney Lorcana community, you're and you're feeling perhaps even the pre-order challenges. I mean, one of our favorite stores, I was not able to pre-order because it was like 2 days after I got back from Europe, right? And I missed it, right? If you have a good relationship with a local game store, by and large, right, they're going to try to take care of you, because they want you to thrive, right? Because you are a vital part of the community. And so I think there's this symbiotic moment, in my opinion, where if you're someone who maybe isn't very engaged with your store, but you love this game and you have the free time, I would encourage you to reach out to your store and say, number one, have you been invited to organize a collection quest in in the next few months? And if so, can I help host it? Right. I think stores again are pulled in so many directions. They don't have necessarily the resources or the bandwidth or the even the bandwidth to think creatively about how to market this.
Sure.
But this
Yeah.
really, I think there's this very specific moment in time. It's school of us, I think, started for us already, but certainly on the West Coast, school will not have started. This is a real prime moment for you as a community member, maybe you've benefited from some amazing events that your local game store has hosted, or maybe you're at a place where like the community has kind of died. This is a really great opportunity to bring in new players. The store is getting some support around this. And again, I think there's something about that. I mean, show up with some bulk boxes, right? To help players who aren't able to complete and find all the cards. I mean, you're going to have plenty of bulk, right, from Attack of the Vine. So I think those are some just ideas of just. I think here's a real important moment for a call to action. Show up and help and host and bring in and expand the community. And have
Yeah.
fun with it, right? Like add a pin collecting trading thing to it, right? I don't know. There's so many fun ways, right, to engage and interact. And I think this is like it's even more low key, right, than a pack rush event, which I think is
Mhm.
still more aimed towards like a TCG, right, playing perspective. This is truly about like that entry level. And again, I think Rebecca, you said this, right? It's been tested and proven across other Disney sort of property engagements that this works, right? And this is a great way to bring players in, and it's now being expanded right into other kind of retail channels. So
I
It is
have whiplash
interesting
from
with
nodding in agreement
oh,
so hard.
yes. It is interesting though, the difference between the GameStop and then the local game store that seems to be upcoming, which I hope that it does turn out better than perhaps the GameStop event turned out because of the community element that will be involved. But the difference between those and the collection quest that they've done on various Disney properties is that you kind of have a little bit of a captive audience that already
mhm,
has some invested interest in the IP, right?
Yep.
There
yep.
is already an emotional connection that people have to these characters and these movies and Disney TV shows. And so it will be interesting with the local game stores as people start doing those and you have maybe the community is involved a little bit more. Is it going to reach newer people outside of those immediate communities and be more of like an ambassador kind of event to bring in new players or new collectors into the game? That's something that I think will be really interesting to see.
And that's really, I think, the core of the call to action is we this is our time to be that ambassador for the game.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
nothing official about it. We're not going to get.
this is finding the Disney fan Facebook group for your local area
Yep.
that
Oh,
focuses on pin trading and whatnot, and that is not right a core sort of channel for your LGS.
Daniel,
To
that's such a
me,
good idea.
the yeah, Game Castle Austin, right? An amazing store that recently got spotlit at a Lorecast, right? An article by you, Rebecca, right? I mean,
Yeah.
common idea. So they have tried to think creatively about hosting other fun, right, social events, right, to bring Disney fans into the store. So I can't take credit for this one. Tom and Marco all the way. But again, like we had a family that joined our Lorcana for Kids, and I'm always curious, like, how did you find us? And this one family, they're huge Disney Cruise Line fans. In fact, right, they're very proud that they have a card signed by Ryan.
Oh, nice.
And
Yeah.
like they only found out about the game, right? Obviously through one of the collection quests, but then they didn't ever really connect with the community for months. But then they just so happened, someone, I actually think it was the owner of Game Castle, posted in one of these Facebook groups about our event, and lo and behold, they showed up, right? And they've been
That's amazing.
extremely active for the second half of our spring sort of semester. So again, there are these audiences and groups that are, like you said, they would never step foot in a LGS because they don't even
Right.
know that an LGS exists. So again, a local game store may not have the time or resources or awareness, right, to go out into those groups, but doesn't take a lot of work, right? Just a little bit of searching on Google or Facebook to find some of these parts. And in fact, you might already be part of some of these groups, right? So
Yep. Yeah, it doesn't happen by accident, right? I mean, so every now and then you get the stragglers that walk into the store and kind of an accidental finding, or they stumble into it, and that's great. We'll take those, but generally speaking, when you're trying to build an audience, it's one member at a time. Just go find one, and then once you bring in that person, go find the next one, and maybe they stick with it, maybe they don't. But if you're not bringing people in, how does the phrase go? If you're not growing, you're dying.
Right.
So let's be basically let's be the intent. Let's make sure that we go and go find one person, tell them about the event, bring them into the store, have a good time. Maybe they bring their family, maybe they tell their friends.
good stuff.
Yes.
And this is the kind of stuff when we first started, right? And when the game first started, this is what I was hoping there would be, maybe a little bit more official trappings around it, to where we're kind of a volunteer army, so to speak. But we don't need that to do the job. We just need to go do it.
Right. Yep.
Good times. I am glad everybody's back. I'm glad y'all healthy. Hopefully we stay that way. You mentioned, Rebecca, more CCQs that were talked about in the Lorecast. Does that mean more casting in your future?
We shall see. I have more flexibility in my schedule because I'm not working a full-time job anymore. But I also still do have a family, and so but who knows what the future will hold, and whatever it may be, I do hope there's lots of Disney Lorcana in it.
I don't think you would let that not happen.
True. You are very correct.
Daniel, with your latest adventure in the rearview mirror now, what are you looking forward to?
Man, I think anytime the three of us can share space, it's always going to be magical. And so North America Championships can't come soon enough.
Ooh, I just got chills.
Are we all going to be there again? We're going to be in the same place? Ah, yes. Yeah. That's exciting. Woohoo.
Yeah, we've got Quest in the Park happening the day before Continental, so that Thursday. And then, of course, Friday, what is it, the 27th or 28th, whatever that Friday is. I'm scrolling. It's the 28th. We'll start Continentals. I know Monica's going to be in there. She is a new mother herself and is going to have to get game ready again. But once she gets those practice reps in, I look forward to seeing how she does. We'll be rooting for her from the stands. No Zach Bivens this year, which is a bit unfortunate. But he's focusing
also
on
new dad. Yeah.
New again. Yeah.
New again.
So he's focusing on the family right now, which is wonderful. And I wish him and his family the best. Look forward to seeing him sometime down the road. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of hopefuls trying to make it at the last chance qualifier. And then we're off to the races on Saturday. Any predictions on who might come out on top based on what we've seen?
Oh, man. There's some really good people going. Yeah. I mean, who knows? I always am hesitant because you have different players that I think could probably do really, really well on any deck. But then depending on what deck kind of rises to the top, that I think will make a difference too, of like who is the best player on the best deck, right?
Well, and they're getting their ammunition now with Attack
They
of the
are.
Vine.
They are indeed. I know that they're already starting to brew their decks and test and see what is good. But there's some fantastic players. Like, Alphos is one that I mentioned that is going to be there, and he's been so consistent this whole year, right? I think a player like Sailor, could do really well. I think there's a lot of don't count out Zach Ravens, even if you won't be there. You never know.
I'm actually screen capping that. That is hilarious.
That's amazing. Yeah, I think that there's a lot of really, really Sky has also proved to be very, very consistent this whole second season. And so, the North American Championship, there's definitely some really, really fantastic players that are going to be there fighting for those top spots to make it to Worlds. We shall see. And I think that as because we're going to have about not quite a month, right? I think it's going to be a little less than a month between pre-release and North American Championships. I think you might have some events that happen, but I think you also will have a lot of players kind of holding their special sauce close to their chest to come bring it to the championships. But
conspicuously missing so far, and maybe we'll get something more tomorrow. We know when Continentals is going to be. We've known that for months. We don't know about Worlds, and that concerns me because if people were holding out hope to go to World Championships this year, I am comfortable at least to openly speculate that it's going to be a similar situation to last year where the public is it really isn't going to have a place to go. Just pure speculation on my part, but
you are one for speculating.
Yeah,
Scott likes to speculate.
We're gonna find out at D23.
That's true. Possibly. Hopefully, we will find out at D23.
Yep. And I want to be wrong, right? Like I would love nothing more than for there, and it's got to happen at some point, right? Like maybe I'm a hopeless romantic, but I do still hold space in my brain housing group that there will be a incredible explosion of joy over Disney Lorcana at the World Championship someday, some year, and we can all go and watch the People's Champ Zach Bivens be crowned World Champion, or another wonderful competitor who is equally, if not more, qualified. But just I want to get the community there to celebrate the pinnacle of success for the champion when it happens.
Yeah. I mean, this community likes to be together. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you for saying that, because you said that they were hungry for it, right? At Indy. Absolutely.
Indy. Mm-hmm.
I think we'll see that maybe not the same level of hunger, but I think we'll see the same level of joy at Continentals. More DLCs. I'm hoping we get a good, healthy announcement, a good chunk of DLCs here, both in North America and abroad, so the community can keep coming together.
Yeah.
And so us three can keep coming together too.
Yes. Well, championships next.
Yep. All right, we have blathered on long enough. Any last thoughts before we wrap up here?
No, it's just great to be together again. So
yeah, appreciate you both so much.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Liam and Aram talked on it as well. It's the friends you made along the way. I think we all have kind of group chats and individual chats behind the scenes where you're just checking in on folks, asking for a sounding board, asking to vent, safe space, all that kind of stuff. It's been wonderful as always. And what you said, appreciate you guys. Looking forward to the next time we see each other down the road. Let's wrap this show up.
I've got one more.
Wait,
Sorry,
hold on.
just 'cause
Pushing
it's a fun
pause.
one. I know. Which of the honey characters glimmers? If you had to choose, we're a rating party, right? We're gonna go into the vine, right? We're venturing. Who are you choosing? And if you need a refresher, we've got Rabbit, the honey paladin, Scott. We've got Kanga, the honey bard, Winnie the Pooh, the honey archmage, right? Christopher Robin, the honey sage, and we've got Rue, the honey rogue, Gopher, the honey cook, Tigger, the honey barbarian, and I think we just saw a new reveal for Lumpy.
Eeyore. Lumpy is the honey. Lumpy's the honey druid. And then so Eeyore is the honey scholar.
Yep. And then of course you've got Piglet, right? The apprentice, and Owl, the I should know this when we revealed it. I'm so tired. Yeah, I'm tired.
It was the ranger.
He's the ranger.
Yeah, ranger. I was like, not rogue, ranger. Yeah.
So I love rangers because they're flexible and it evokes Strider from Lord of the Rings. But true to my paladin self, I am oath bound to choose the paladin.
I love it.
Gotta go with the rabbit. Rebecca, what direction you headed?
I have to pick Christopher Robin because he's the one that is bringing the whole party together. And I love that.
Daniel?
Always been a big fan of rogues and archmages, right? As classes. So I think those two really jump out.
Very
They're
nice.
So good.
We could make our own honey party.
Man, I can't wait for Illuminators Quest.
Yeah. Oh my word. Was that October 1st, October 2nd?
October 7th, I think. I can't. Yeah.
It's early October. I know that.
All I will say is I'm really sad I'm not going to Gen Con.
Yeah, me too.
I thought I was going to make it this year, maybe next year. There's just so much going on in August. It wasn't going to be able to swing that.
It is October 2nd. Yep, October 2nd.
2 people. You talk about random connections and bringing people into the community, right? There's folks, a server at a restaurant that I go to frequently. She enjoys Winnie the Pooh, and I gave her Winnie the Pooh foil card it was a comment, I think, but she appreciated the heck out of that. I showed her the pictures of the Illumineers quest, and she was super excited about that. So I'm getting 2 new community members just from that. They don't know it yet, but they're going to play. It's coming down the pipe. I'm confident. Okay. Anything else?
Nope. That's it.
Are we sure?
Yep.
All right. I'm hitting the post. Here we go. Is that it? Yep. That's got it. On behalf of guests Aaron and Liam, the Illumiteers, and on behalf of hosts Rebecca and Daniel, we want to thank you for tuning into this episode of Vox Lorcana and spending some time with us tonight. And always remember, Lorcana means family. Good night, everybody.
Good night.